Hey guys, welcome to EduTap. I hope each of you is happy, healthy and fine and taking very good care of yourself. I am your mentor Veer and I welcome you all in lecture 6 on reports and indices. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Guys, if you are new here, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can find the daily updated videos regarding the exams that we are covering. Moreover guys, if you want to download the PDF of this video or the other videos, you can check out our Telegram group, the link of which you can find in the description box. Now guys, I would like to share with you the smiling points of EduTap, that is the EduTap Hall of Fame, or moreover you can say our results. Guys, we have produced highest result across India in the RBI Gr B, the NABARD Gr A as well as SEBI Grade A over the years. And regarding the strategy of these toppers, you can check out our YouTube channel guys. Moreover guys, now I would like to share with you the courses that we are offering. We are offering the course in the RBI Gr B, the NABARD Gr A as well as Grade B and the SEBI Grade A. We are also offering a course on UPSC, EPFO guys. The details of all these courses you can find in the description box. You just have to click on the link. So guys, don't miss out the opportunity. Use it wisely. Guys, we are also offering heavy discount on the RBI Gr B. That is 30% discount at the moment is running and you need to use the code WOW30. And guys, this course, which is RBI Gr B 2020 course, is valid till 30th April 2021. We are also offering 50% discount for the SEBI Grade A 2020 course guys, and you just need to use the code SEBI50. So that is all about our offering guys. Again, I would like to say that don't miss out the opportunity, use it wisely. So guys, now it's time to come to our video or the report that we're going to start today. So guys, the report that we're going to start today is South Asia Economic Focus Report. So guys, one second. Yeah, so this is the report that we're gonna start today. So guys, there is a picture which is attached with the report. So it is showing that people are wearing mask and maintaining the social distance, and a name is mentioned here which is beaten or broken, informality and COVID-19. Then there is one agency's name which is mentioned over the picture is the World Bank. So guys, this South Asia Economic Focus Report is released by the World Bank, and the theme for this edition, which is the fall edition 2020, is beaten or broken, informality and COVID-19. So guys, when I'm saying the edition, fall edition, what do I mean by this? Guys, this report is released biannually. That means twice it has been released by the World Bank. Once in the month of April, which is known as the spring edition, and this fall is released in the month of October. So this edition has the theme beaten or broken, informality and COVID-19. This is spring and fall are just the name given to the editions that have been released by the World Bank. So do not go into that much detail, and we are covering the fall edition because it is much relevant from our exam point of view, because April 2020 edition is quite old and we haven't seen yet that the RBI hasn't released the notification for our Grade B exam. So guys, if you see on the picture, again I would like to say that this report has something to do with the COVID. So guys, let's come to the finer details, starting with the introduction to this report. So guys, I already told you that this report is released by the World Bank. The name of the report is South Asia Economic Focus, and it's a biannual report. I already mentioned there are two editions. One is the spring edition, which was launched in the month of April, and this is the fall edition, which was launched in the month of October. That is very recently. And the title for the October edition is Beaten or Broken, Informality and COVID-19. So this is the introduction. Now coming to the what this report is about. So guys, in this report, or we can say this report tells about the current economic situation in the South Asian region. Moreover, this report also gives the future forecast regarding the economic stability, growth perspective and prosperity in the South Asian region. So guys, the current economic situation regarding the aspects considering COVID-19. If you can remember the image that I showed you with the first slide, it was showing the pupils wearing the mask, as well as theme was also mentioning about the COVID-19. So this report's also covering the economic aspects, keeping in mind the current COVID situation. So guys, I hope now you understand what this report is all about. So coming to the highlights of the report directly. So guys, this report, as I already mentioned, is covering only the South Asian region, and to be very specific, it is covering the SAARC countries. Afghanistan, let me write it. I am writing in very short, guys, just mentioning the alphabet. Afghanistan, Pakistan, Maldives, Sri Lanka, India, and then there is Bhutan and Bangladesh. I think, yeah, there is one more, which is Nepal. So these are the countries which this report is focusing upon, that is the South Asian region. So guys, let us see what are the highlights of the report. So regarding when I am talking about the economic prospect, growth, stability, so first thing is the GDP. So this report is projecting that for the current financial year, there will be a contraction in the GDP for the South Asian region, and the contraction will be of 7.7%. This is the contraction, and the next year, this report is expecting that the region will rebound and will gain a growth of 4.5%. So guys, for example, let us take, if the GDP was rupees 100, I am taking a very simple example, rupees 100. So for the current year, it is minus 7.7, that is something around 93. And for the next year, they are projecting it to be increased to 104. So this is what this GDP is, it means. Now there is certain other projections regarding the economy that they are projecting. The other is the private consumption. The private consumption is expected to decline by almost 10% for the current financial year. Then the per capita income will also remain low by 6% in comparison to the year of 2019. Then the 3/4 of the all workers in the South Asia depends on the informal employment. So guys, these are the key highlights. See, this report comprises of so many pages. So what we do, we take out the important points from our exam point of view. We do not have to cover each and everything. So even in this report, guys, the first important point is the first one. Then if you can remember, move on to the second. If you can remember, move on to the third. And if you can remember, move on to the fourth one. But do not miss the first one, which is covering the GDP aspect. Because in our syllabus, it is clearly mentioned. Guys, let me first tell you about why this report is important from our exam point of view. You know, World Bank is mentioned in our syllabus of ESI. Check out the international institution. World Bank is clearly mentioned. So the reports which are released by World Bank are clearly important from our exam point of view. And this is one of the latest edition regarding. So question can be asked. Now coming to the other parts of the reports, why we are covering certain sections of the report. First, GDP, because this report is not only highlighting the GDP of South Asia, it is also highlighting the GDP of India. We'll take up that in the next slide. So we can see that GDP is important from our exam point of view. So we have taken the point regarding the GDP. Then there are additional texts in the syllabus like social sector, like education, which is important for the ESI. So we have taken important points from the education as well as poverty. So guys, these are the relevant points that we have taken from the report considering the requirements of our exam. We do not have to go into all that much detail. Even I am saying that first point is more important in comparison to the other three. Okay, so now coming to the next section, which is the education. So regarding the education, there are very clear, we can say, highlights that have been mentioned. First is that about 5.5 million students could drop out of schools across South Asia due to the current COVID situation. So this is the number of the students that can drop out. Okay, because you know there have been a lockdown and all those. So because of the current COVID situation, this number of students can drop out from the school. I hope you can know what do you mean by drop out? That अरे यार सिंपल है, स्कूल जाना छोड़ दिया. So guys, the next point is 622, that is 622 billion in future earnings and gross domestic product will be the loss for the South Asian region due to the current COVID situation. Why we are, guys, see, you can see that there was lockdown. Let us take an example of India. So there was lockdown in India and schools were shut down. So parents stopped paying the fees to the schools. Then there was lot of protest and all those things were negotiated, and slowly things get on the track regarding the India. But for a certain period of time there was a loss of revenue for the, not only from the school, but also there was a loss of education. You might see that the syllabus has been cut. Even in the Indian scenario, the syllabus was cut considering the COVID situation, so that the students will have to prepare less. So accordingly, there was also a loss regarding that. For the entire region, if we take not only in the Indian situation but also for the other countries, there was an average loss of half year considering the, we can say, educational requirements for this particular year. So guys, this is the expected loss of revenue due to the lockdown in the education sector. This will be the loss considering the future earnings as well as the GDP. And this loss might increase up to 880 billion. So it is in the very rare circumstances. And I mentioned it just to highlight that up to what range. Even from the exam point of view, if they will ask for only the first point, that what is the expected revenue loss due to the COVID situation. Now guys, due to the pandemic, 391 million students will remain out of school in the primary and secondary education. So guys, still schools haven't opened in India, we know that, though there are few exceptions, but still around 400 we can say million of students are keeping out of the school. Okay, so this is the number which is important from our exam point of view. They can ask that for the entire region of South Asia, how many number of students are not going to the school at the moment due to the COVID situation. The answer is around 400 million, which is 391 to be precise. I already mentioned about the projected learning loss. Projected learning loss is, I already mentioned that India has to cut down its syllabus. In India, we have cut down the syllabus of the students considering the demand for the current situation. Okay, so this is about the loss that have been incurred by the education sector, not only in India but also in the South Asian region. And guys, there was a point which is the average child in the region may lose around $4,400 in the lifetime earning. So guys, this is, we can say that due to this lockdown and all those, and the less education that is imparted during this lockdown, the students, there will be impact on the economic life of the student, and they are somehow projecting that the student will lose this much amount of money in their earning that they have. Suppose I am a student at the moment right now. So when I go into the labor market, due to the current lockdown situation, the loss in the education that have suffered right now will cost me this much amount of money. So guys, you do not have to go into that much PhD that how this figure has been achieved. Okay, I just mentioned about how this point is relevant to us. If I stopped going, if whatever the suffering related to the education sector that I'm facing at the moment, the cut in the syllabus, the less number of school days I am attending, the poor quality of education, we can know that how the online system of education is going on in comparison to the offline when we go to the schools. So there is a lack of education that is imparted on the students. So due to that, students are expected to lose this much amount of money in their earning when they join the labor force. So guys, these are the important highlights regarding the education sector. Moreover guys, there is third point regarding the poverty which says that due to the COVID situation, the number of people living below the poverty line are expected to increase by 33%. So guys, I hope now you understand all the important facts regarding this report. First GDP, then we have talked about the education in detail, considering the examples regarding India. I have mentioned about those, but these highlights are from the South Asia, not East Asia. So do not get confused. We have in this slide we have discussed only the South Asia. Now we coming to the India. So guys, for the reason they are expecting a contraction of 7.7%, but for India they are expecting a contraction of 9.6% in the current financial year. and they are projecting a growth of 5.4%. That means increase in the GDP will start coming from the next year. So for the reason, sorry, it was 4.5 and for India it is 5.4 for the next financial year, and for the current financial year India is about to lose its GDP, or there is a contraction in GDP which amounts to 9.6%. So guys, a question can be asked in the phase 1 as well as phase 2 that as per the World Bank report, they might not highlight the name of the report, as per the World Bank report, India is expected to lose, or what is the current expected GDP of India? So the answer is 9.6%. Now the second important fact that has been highlighted in the report is about the fiscal deficit. I hope you understand what do you mean by fiscal deficit. Fiscal deficit is nothing but how much your expenditure is over your revenue, and that is the amount, the excessive, this is the difference between the expenditure and revenue is what you have to borrow from the market. So guys, fiscal deficit is really, we can say, if this borrowing is going into the capital expenditure, so it will be good, but if it's to meet the revenue expenses, or we can say for the current year, or we can say suppose the borrowing is used to pay the salaries of the employee, so this will become a trouble for our economy. So guys, this is why we have to keep focus on the fiscal deficit. And accordingly, the report has highlighted there is information regarding the fiscal deficit, that the general fiscal deficit, when I am saying the general fiscal deficit, it means the fiscal deficit of the state and the central together will cross 12% mark. Okay, though the current we can say if we combine all the fiscal deficit of all the states, only the states, not the central, it is around 4.5 to 5%, and the remaining is the central government. So they are expecting the fiscal deficit of central as well as the state government to increase to 12% or even go higher. So this is important point regarding the fiscal deficit. Now there was a point regarding the NPAs of the bank, that the non-performing loans to the asset ratio of scheduled commercial bank may rise to 12.5% by March 2021 from 8.5% in the March 2020. So guys, there are recently a lot of news that the NPAs has been going down. If you see that one of the reason that my assigned to those news is Supreme Court. Supreme Court has put a ban on the classification by the banks regarding the NPA from the lockdown period till August. So due to that, there was even the RBI came into an attempt that please lift this ban up. So during that period, there was an increase. We can say there was no classification has been done regarding the NPA, which is a worrisome point regarding the Indian economy. So due to this we can say we are expecting that the NPA might rise in the coming days, though currently there are news that the NPA is going down or is remaining somewhat same or decreasing, but the true picture will come in the next year. Okay, so according to the report, it is expecting that it will be 12.5%. This ratio will be 12.5% by March 2021. Now there are also guys certain highlights regarding the education sector. So as a reason, we are expecting a loss of 622 billion because of the lockdown and the shutdown of the schools and all those, whereas in case of India only, we are expecting a loss of 420 billion, which can go up to 600 billion. So India is the dominant player in the region which is facing the major crunch, or which is facing the major problem regarding the education sector, or the future earnings that it was expected, but that have been hampered due to the COVID situation. So guys, that is all about this report. In this report, we have discussed the economic situation in the South Asian region as well as the India. We have talked about the GDP projections regarding the South Asia as well as India. We have talked about the education sector. There were certain key highlights regarding the region, like there are 5.5 million of dropouts due to the COVID situation in the South Asian region. Then there was also a projection regarding the South Asian region that 622 billion will be the loss of future earnings and the GDP regarding the shutdown, or we can say regarding the lockdown, regarding the lockdown that have been imposed by the government regarding COVID-19. Sorry about the tongue twisting. So those were the key highlights regarding the South Asia region, and there was also a loss mentioned, that is regarding the India, which was about 420 to 600 billion. So guys, we have talked about the report in detail. Now it's time to summarize the report or revise the report through some MCQs. So the first MCQ is, the report is published by which agency? The answer is World Bank, and this kind of question can be asked in the phase 1 as well as phase 2. Then the theme of the report, another important question guys. The theme of for the fall edition is beaten or broken, informality and COVID-19. So through this report, what we were doing, we are trying to present the current economic situation as well as the future projection of the South Asian region as well as India. Guys, so the report has covered all the other countries as well, but that won't be fruitful from our exam point of view. We have taken the South Asian region in general and the India in particular from this report, because only that is important from our exam. Now, this report focuses on which region? The answer is South Asia. Then the GDP forecast for the current year for the South Asian region in particular will be minus 7.7, and for the next year it is plus 4.5%. Now coming to the important point from our exam point of view, which is GDP forecast for India. This kind of question can be asked in the phase 1 as well as phase 2. So the answer to this question is minus 9.6. This is really important guys. And for the next year, they are projecting it 5.4%. I think it's very easy to remember, 4.5 for the region and 5.4 for the India in particular. Now, the number of dropouts of a school across Southeast Asia, the answer is 5.5 million. A lot of newspaper headlines have mentioned like this. So this point is quite relevant from our exam point of view. Now, India is expected to lose in future earnings due to the lockdown that has been imposed in the current COVID situation in the education sector is 420 billion. This is the amount of revenue that will be foregone due to the current COVID situation. So guys, I hope we have covered each and every point which is relevant from our exam point of view. Now it's time for homework question. So yeah guys, this homework question is about the countries which are covered in the report. So guys, I mentioned about the countries. So better we say that the countries mentioned are Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. So guys, rather than asking about the countries covered in the report, I would like to ask that is there any organization, let me write it short, or regional economic cooperation to which these countries are part? So please, if there is any, name that regional economic cooperation or organization to which these countries are members in the comment section. So that will be your homework guys. Please make the comment in the, please give the answer in the comment section. Now guys, I would like to use this opportunity to thank our students that have been continuously supporting us. Thanks Rakshit, thanks Arindam, thanks Prashant. Moreover guys, Akshay suggested us to cover Human Development Index 2020 and the National Family Health Survey 2020. So Akshay, I would like to tell you that very soon we will take up both the reports. Don't worry, I will definitely cover those. And please keep on showering your love through the comments guys. If there is any suggestion you want to be incorporated, please mention in the comment section. If you want the number of videos to be increased, for that you have to be active guys. If you won't comment, it won't be possible for me to increase the number of lectures on the reports and indices. Even for the scheme section, the more you will remain interactive with us, the more we bring to the more content to you. So guys, I hope you have liked today's video. If you like our video, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, share it with your friends, and do give a thumbs up. For now, I'm your mentor Veer, signing off.